I'm Rose Reisman. Welcome back to Cooking with Rose. Well, it's springtime, and that means there's a freshness of food, away with the comfort foods. We're not hibernating anymore. We're going to get into some great springtime foods. First thing I'd love to do with you are sweet potato fries. And if you think about it, we all know what French fries are. I mean, deep fried, white potatoes, they taste great, but come on, we all know there's not a lot of nutrients once you take that beautiful potato and fry it. But take a sweet potato. Look at the orange color of this. This means it contains beta-carotene. This is one healthy vegetable. These are the kind of fruits and vegetables you want you and your kids to eat. But get your kids together for this because it's simple. All I'm going to do is take a large sweet potato, and we're just going to cut this into some wedges. Now, you might not want your kids to do this part because you really do need a fairly sharp knife to do this, okay? And we're going to end up layering our wedges just over a baking sheet sprayed with a little bit of vegetable oil. Okay, so this is where the kids are going to come in and have some fun. Now, you could just bake this off like that and they would taste delicious, but I'm going to jazz it up a little bit, and I'm going to be working with some beautiful maple syrup. Remember, it's springtime. So we're going to put a couple tablespoons of maple syrup in, a little bit of just a good vegetable oil. Okay, not much, so we're not deep frying. A little bit of cinnamon, and really any spices you want. You can use ginger. You can use a little bit of nutmeg or allspice, you know, almost a bit like those fall flavors is what works here. And then we're just going to brush the sweet potatoes with this mixture, and you're going to use just about half of it, okay? So just brush it on like this. We're going to preset our oven to about 400 degrees, and you're going to cook these potatoes for about 25 minutes, but at about half time, 12, 13 minutes, you're going to turn them over. And they should have a beautiful golden color. Okay, looks great, easy for the kids to do. Let them sprinkle on everything they want. Let's go over to the oven for a minute. I'm going to put these into the oven and take out the ones that I've already cooked. So now we're going to put these beautiful little sweet potatoes brushed with maple syrup and cinnamon and all sorts of spices into the oven to cook for about 25 minutes. And oh, do these ever look fantastic. These look so delicious. I can hardly wait to bite into them. But before I do, I'm going to put a little bit of chopped parsley on it. And you know what? If the kids don't like anything green, like mine used to say, don't worry about it, don't sweat it. Just let them eat it by itself. And they look so yummy. Even though I know they're hot, I have to try just a little bite of one. Oh, they're so soft and like candy. The maple syrup is like you just got it out of the tree. It's ever good. Okay, I got to get back to cooking. So let's continue on. What else are we going to make? I'm going to make a really nice quinoa salad with tuna, green beans, cucumbers, the whole works. So what's really nice about quinoa, it's an ancient grain, it's a complete protein, and all you have to do is cook it with a little bit of vegetable stock or chicken stock, 2 to 1, 2 cups of stock, 1 cup of quinoa, 15 minutes, low heat, and it's done. Very, very easy. And this is going to replace the rice, the pasta, occasionally in your meal plans because it's so much healthier. So to this, I'm going to add some green beans and just cook them up. When you cook your green beans, what you want to do is bring it to a boil, cook it for 2 minutes, then immediately rinse it with really cold water to stop the cooking. If not, you end up with those brown beans that look pretty awful when you sit down at the table. That's to keep them nice and fresh. We're going to add some cherry tomatoes or any tomatoes you want, a few cucumbers, a few olives, and again, you know, olives don't have to be if someone doesn't like olives, anchovies, and anchovies can be minced so finely that you don't need to see them, and a little bit of red onions, and then I'm going to add some canned tuna. Now, we're going to have a treat. I'm going to make canned tuna for this, but I'm going to show you how you can use delicious ahi tuna for this if you so prefer. Now, when you're buying tuna, here's the trick. You see a lot of tuna in the supermarket. What you want to do is make sure you buy a can that's, it can be flaked or solid, it can be white or light, but the key is looking for those packed in water, not in oil. The ones packed in oil have 9 times the fat than those packed in water and 3 times the calories. So it's a huge difference, and that's why often tuna salad sandwiches can really put you over the edge in terms of your fat for a day. So this is what it looks like now. We're now going to add our dressing. So if you don't have lemon, and sometimes we can't always access lemon, I always prefer fresh lemon, the bottled lemon is fine. We're going to have a couple of tablespoons of that. A little bit of olive oil. So you can see I'm not giving you a half a cup of olive oil like you would in most dressings for tuna or any salad. A little bit of Dijon, a little bit of fresh garlic, and a little bit of balsamic vinegar, which is really nice. That's the entire dressing. We're going to whisk this together, pour it over top. Absolutely delicious. This salad actually even tastes better marinating the next day, so you can do it a day in advance. So the tuna looks great, but you know what? This could be fabulous for the family or just some friends coming over, but let's say the boss is coming over. We really want to impress somebody. So what you want to do is kick it up a notch, and you're going to get some beautiful ahi tuna, bluefin tuna, and this is what it looks like. This is beautiful. It is affordable. You don't want to be serving it every night, but there's such a night and day difference of fresh tuna versus the canned. So come on over to the stove with me for a minute, and I'm going to show you how we're going to sear this tuna. First thing you want is a really hot skillet. So, I mean, you could do it on the barbecue, but I've got a skillet here where I'm going to heat it up as high as I possibly can, so it's going to sear that tuna, really give it some nice charcoal marks and sear in the juices. And I've just brushed it with a little bit of olive oil or oil. Let that sear up like this, and then what you're going to do is wait about 2 minutes till it sears. Give it a quarter of a turn so you get the nice cross marks. Turn it over, let it sear for another 2 minutes, and you've got the most beautiful, rare tuna, which is how it really has to be served. Now we're going to give this a quarter of a turn, let it sear just for maybe about a minute, and then we're going to flip it over. All right, it looks good. Let's see. Oh, look at those grill marks. Is that gorgeous? And let it do the same thing on the other side for about a minute or two. Again, depending on the thickness. If it's a thin piece, you got to be careful. You're going to cook it right through. You're only going to give it about 30 seconds on each side if it's a thin piece. Okay, so I'm going to shut off my heat. That looks really nice. That is seared ahi tuna. That's how it should be. So let's place it down. If you're going to be eating it immediately, which I suggest, you want to cut it immediately. If not, here's my tip. If you let it sit out for another 5-10 minutes so your guests arrive, guess what's going to happen? It's going to cook through. You're going to serve the tuna, it's going to look like the one that you served in the can. Not an impressive thing. So what you do is put it in the freezer. Put it in the freezer for about 2 minutes, stops the cooking process, then bring it out. So that's a great little tip to have. And now, let's just cut this beautiful tuna and take a look at that. That is perfectly seared tuna. This is how you eat ahi tuna. If you buy it and cook it all through, honestly, you're throwing away your money. This is what you want. Look how beautiful that is. And then go ahead and put that on top of your quinoa salad. And that's a really elevated treat. We're going to cut up a little bit of fresh dill, which goes perfectly with the fish and the quinoa. Put it over top like this, and you've got a beautiful meal. And it doesn't matter whether you're using the fresh ahi tuna or the canned, this works beautifully together. So let's take a look at what we've done. So we've done the quinoa salad, we've done the delicious sweet potato fries. Get your kids' hands into this one for sure. And here we have a beautiful sweet pea and fennel soup. So fennel's really big in the spring. It tastes delicious. It's like a very licorice type of almost celery. And sweet peas, cook them up with a few potatoes, pureed it, and the sweet peas, again, look how beautiful they are. We're going to garnish our soup with it, and you see a little bit of, well, it almost looks like a lovely design. Easy to do. Just take a little bit of low-fat sour cream or yogurt, put it in a baggie, just clip the tip of the baggie, draw a few lines through your soup, and just take a toothpick, and you end up with a beautiful design that looks really fancy and looks like you've just come out of a restaurant. And finally, our dessert. This is one of my favorite desserts. These are lemon curd cheesecakes. You make them in a muffin tin. You can make them in a regular muffin tin or a mini. But the key about this is making a lemon curd sauce to go over top. Now, traditionally, lemon curd sauce are made with butter and egg yolks. Well, I don't have to tell you what that spells out. So this lemon curd is light and really nice compared to the traditional ones that are quite heavy and very high fat in calories. So look at these recipes, perfect to kickstart your spring. Check them out at tempotoronto.ca. Come and visit me again. I'm Rose Reisman.